have a tour of the Uniri Boulevard and see the lights and the fountains in the evening. Right now we are in Alba Iulia Square, and we'll try to see the nightlife around. A lot of impatient people just to rush and have speed, but we will take it slowly and look around to see and explain it. Right now we are back on the Uniri Boulevard and going straight to the Parliament House, or the People House as we call it. On the right and the left side are commercial area, and this commercial area, until the fountains are still in good shape, but regarding the commercial spaces that are between the fountains and the Parliament House, there was always a problem with the lack of commercial interest, and also a very disappointing area. It's still well circulated, but you have less parking spaces. Perhaps this is the reason. And also are a lot of trees all around. You cannot see anything. Above are only blocks with apartments, the most expensive apartments in central Bucharest. And all this boulevard was constructed by the communists, of course destroying other areas, and especially houses, beautiful houses, historical places, to have a megalomaniac project for the dictator. And the homes around were designated for the top elite communist employer staff, and the workers and poor people were in other less respected areas, and with a big concentration of blocks. And right now already starting to have the lights and the fountains. We can see the main boulevard, the central area. On the right it's Uniri shop. On the left hand straight it's the bigger fountain. You can actually see the lights and the water. There are still not opened all the lights to admire the buildings, but anyway the architecture is not the best one. I have to wait to have a green light, and we will go straight to the People's House, and then we'll come back to have again a look on the fountains and how the main boulevard it's during the evening time. It's green, we will go. Already colorful fountains, usually on weekends. Before the pandemic, it was a show with the music and lights, but right now this was stopped. They limited also the opening of the fountains and the lights, but today it's a voting day for the local parties and for the mayor, so they have interest to have people happy to vote. And we will see starting from tomorrow if any substantial change happens. I think people have enough of 30 years more over the communist period, and with the same people leading main parties and crossing from one party to another, and it's just a bad joke. And right now they were a little bit infuriated, and I think there were more on the vote process. But let's see if something really happens. If not, a lot of people will look again to leave the country, even if it's more difficult to do it. But their patience are at the limit, and actually myself, I am pretty sick of the system and what happened. Nothing was really healthy and working. You look around and see the country falling down, and you are so disappointed, and just think about what you can offer to the kids and to the new generation, and they have no moral models, no ethics, no education anymore. So a lot of chaos, and this chaos, even in main industries, is kept in order to take advantage and avoid taxation mainly. You, for example, try to do something and you are not allowed to do this, and even if you want the better, you can be alone in the process and even intimidated by the rest. So it's quite not fair what happens, and no rules to guide and to do something. And then also the mentality is more and more pessimistic, which is not helpful. A poor country with an interesting potential, but people have to be brave and to have courage to implement the change. And it seems that the intellectuals are afraid or lazy, and the rest of the population, it's still manipulated, so it's difficult to have a change. We'll see starting from tomorrow. I don't think we will have substantial change, and we have to take wise decisions for each of us to have a decent life. A dancing fountain in a blue and green.